Why radical forgiveness is so hard and how to fix it. You know that person who hurt you so badly that even thinking their name makes your chest tighten? That situation that happened months or even years ago that still makes your blood boil when it pops into your mind at random moments? I know exactly what you're feeling right now because I've been studying why some people can forgive easily, while others carry resentment like a backpack full of rocks for decades. Here's what's fascinating. Your brain is actually designed to hold on to hurt. It's not a flaw in your character. It's not because you're weak or petty. There's real science behind why radical forgiveness feels impossible sometimes. And more importantly, there's a proven process to overcome it that most people never learn. I'm going to share something with you today that changed everything for me and thousands of others. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your mind fights forgiveness so hard, and you'll have a clear roadmap to finally release that resentment that's been eating you alive. Let's start with something most people get completely wrong about forgiveness. They think it's about being nice to the person who hurt them. They think it means letting someone off the hook or pretending what happened didn't matter. No wonder it feels impossible. Real forgiveness, what I call radical forgiveness, has nothing to do with the other person. It's about freeing yourself from the prison of toxic emotions that keep you stuck in the past. When you understand this shift, everything changes. Think about the last time someone really hurt you. Maybe it was a betrayal from a friend. Maybe it was something your partner did that shattered your trust. Maybe it was how your parents treated you growing up. Notice what happens in your body right now just thinking about it. Your shoulders probably tensed up. Your breathing might have gotten shallow. That's your nervous system still responding to something that happened in the past, as if it's happening right now. This is what unforgiveness does to you. It keeps you reliving the trauma over and over again. Every time you think about what happened, you're literally poisoning yourself with stress chemicals. Meanwhile, the person who hurt you is probably living their life completely unaware of the pain you're carrying. Someone once told me that holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. That hit me like a truck, because I realized I'd been doing exactly that for years. So why is letting go of anger so incredibly hard? Your brain has what scientists call a negativity bias. This means you're wired to remember threats and painful experiences more vividly than positive ones. It was a survival mechanism for our ancestors. If someone in your tribe betrayed you, remembering that kept you alive. But in today's world, this same mechanism keeps you trapped. Your brain treats emotional wounds like physical threats. It creates detailed memories of who hurt you, how they did it, and why you need to stay on guard. Every time you replay the memory, you're strengthening those neural pathways. You're literally training your brain to hold on to the hurt. Here's when it gets really interesting. When you're in a state of resentment, your brain releases the same stress hormones as if you're being chased by a tiger. Cortisol floods your system. Your immune function drops. Your sleep gets disrupted. Your relationships suffer because you're carrying this invisible weight everywhere you go. I worked with a client named Sarah, who came to me after her business partner had stolen money from their company. She was consumed with rage. She couldn't sleep. She couldn't focus on building her new business because she was spending hours every day thinking about what he did to her. The betrayal had happened 2 years earlier, but she was still living every single day. Sarah thought she needed justice before she could move on. She thought he needed to apologize or face consequences. But here's what I helped her understand. Her healing couldn't depend on what someone else chose to do. That would give him power over her forever. This is where most people get stuck in the forgiveness process. They make their peace conditional on things outside their control. The other person has to acknowledge what they did. They have to show remorse. They have to change. But what if they never do? What if they're not capable of it? What if they're not even alive anymore? You end up a prisoner to someone else's choices. That's not freedom. That's not healing. That's just a different kind of suffering. Real emotional healing starts when you realize forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's not about them deserving it. It's about you deserving peace. You deserve to sleep well at night. You deserve to have energy for the things that matter to you. You deserve relationships that aren't poisoned by the baggage you're carrying from the past. Now, let me be clear about something. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean trusting someone who betrayed you. It doesn't mean putting yourself in harm's way again. You can forgive someone and still maintain healthy boundaries. You can forgive someone and still seek justice through proper channels. Forgiveness is about releasing the emotional charge, not about becoming a doormat. I want to share the exact process that helped Sarah and thousands of others finally achieve emotional freedom. This isn't some fluffy self-help technique. This is based on neuroscience research about how the brain processes trauma and creates new neural pathways. The first step is what I call radical acceptance. This might sound counterintuitive, but you have to fully feel your anger before you can release it. Most people try to skip over their pain or minimize it. They tell themselves they should be over it by now, but emotions that aren't fully processed get stuck in your body like fragments of glass. You need to give yourself permission to feel everything. The rage, the disappointment, the sense of betrayal. Write it all down. Say it out loud. Let your body experience the full weight of what happened to you. This isn't wallowing. This is clearing the emotional debris so healing can begin. Sarah spent weeks in this phase. She wrote angry letters she never sent. She talked to her therapist about the depth of her hurt. She let herself grieve not just the money that was stolen, but the friendship she thought she had, the trust she'd lost, the naive part of herself that believed people were fundamentally good. The second step is perspective shifting. This is where you start to see the situation from different angles. I'm not asking you to excuse what happened or pretend it wasn't that bad. I'm asking you to get curious about the full story. What was going on in the other person's life when they hurt you? What pain might they have been in? What fears or insecurities might have driven their behavior? This isn't about making excuses for them. It's about understanding that hurt people hurt people. When you can see someone's actions as coming from their own wounds, rather than being a reflection of your worth, it loses some of its power over you. Sarah discovered that her business partner had been struggling with a gambling addiction. He hadn't stolen from her because he was evil. He'd stolen from her because he was desperate and sick. That didn't make what he did okay, but it helped her understand it wasn't personal. It wasn't about her not being worthy of loyalty or respect. The third step is what I call energetic release. You need to literally get the stored trauma out of your body. Trauma isn't just mental, it's physical. It gets trapped in your muscles, your fascia, your nervous system. You can think your way to understanding, but you have to move your way to freedom. This might look like intense exercise, dancing until you sweat, screaming into a pillow, shaking and trembling to discharge the energy. Some people find breathwork incredibly powerful. Others use techniques like EFT tapping or somatic therapy. The key is finding what helps you release the physical tension that's been stored in your body. The fourth step is rebuilding your story. Right now, you might see yourself as a victim of what happened to you, and in that moment, you were. But you get to choose whether you stay in that identity or transform it into something more empowering. Sarah stopped seeing herself as the woman who got betrayed by her business partner. She started seeing herself as the woman who survived betrayal and built an even stronger business because of what she learned. She went from victim to survivor to thriver. That shift in identity changed everything. The final step is what I call conscious reconnection. This is where you actively choose to open your heart again, even though you've been hurt. This doesn't mean being naive or ignoring red flags. It means refusing to let past pain close you off from future love, friendship, and opportunities. This is probably the scariest part of the process because it requires vulnerability. When you've been burned, every instinct tells you to build walls. But walls that keep pain out also keep joy out. They keep love out. They keep all the good things in life out too. You might be wondering how long this process takes. There's no standard timeline for overcoming resentment. Some people can work through it in weeks. Others need months or even years, especially if the hurt goes deep or happened repeatedly over time. The key is being patient with yourself and trusting the process. Sarah's transformation took about 6 months of consistent work. She still remembers what happened, but it doesn't control her anymore. She's not friends with her former business partner, and she probably never will be. But she's free from the anger that was consuming her life. She's built a thriving new business. She's in a healthy relationship. She sleeps well at night because she's not carrying that poison anymore. Here's something else I want you to understand about this journey. It's not linear. You might have a breakthrough one day and feel angry again the next. That's normal. Healing happens in waves, not straight lines. Be gentle with yourself on the hard days. Celebrate the progress you make, even if it feels small. One thing that really helps people stick with this process is having a support system. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe you know someone who's been carrying resentment for years. Maybe they're stuck in toxic emotions that are stealing their peace. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is help someone else find their freedom too. I also want to address something that comes up a lot when people start working on forgiveness. They worry that letting go of their anger means the person who hurt them gets away with it. They think their resentment is somehow punishing the other person or protecting them from future harm. But here's the truth. Your anger doesn't hurt them, it hurts you. Your resentment doesn't protect you, it keeps you stuck. The best revenge is living a life so full of joy and success that you rarely think about what they did to you. The best protection is learning to trust your instincts and set healthy boundaries, not building walls around your heart. There's actually research showing that people who learn to forgive have lower blood pressure, better sleep, stronger immune systems, and more satisfying relationships. Forgiveness isn't just good for your soul, it's good for your body and your life in measurable ways. If you're watching this and thinking about someone who hurt you, I want you to know that you have the power to free yourself. You don't need their permission. You don't need their apology. You don't need them to change or acknowledge what they did. You just need to be willing to choose your healing over your hurt. Start with the first step I mentioned. Give yourself permission to fully feel what you're carrying. Write about it. Talk about it with someone you trust. Don't try to be strong or mature or over it. Just be honest about where you are right now. Then start looking for small ways to shift your perspective. Maybe watch interviews with people who've overcome similar situations. Read books about resilience and post-traumatic growth. Start feeding your mind stories of transformation instead of just replaying your trauma. Find ways to move the energy in your body. Go for walks in nature. Dance to music that makes you feel alive. Try yoga or martial arts or swimming. Your body holds the key to your emotional freedom, so work with it, not against it. Begin crafting a new story about who you are and what your life means. You're not just someone who got hurt. You're someone who's learning to heal. You're someone who's choosing growth over grudges. You're someone who's brave enough to keep your heart open even after it's been broken. And finally, start taking small steps toward reconnection. This might mean being a little more open with a friend. It might mean being willing to trust someone new with something small. It might mean believing that good things are still possible for you, even after what you've been through. Remember, forgiveness is not a one-time decision. It's a practice. Some days will be easier than others. Some memories will take longer to release than others. That's okay. What matters is that you keep choosing healing over hurt, freedom over resentment, peace over poison. The person who hurt you doesn't get to decide how the rest of your story goes. You do. The pain they caused doesn't get to define the rest of your life. You do. The anger you've been carrying doesn't get to steal any more of your joy, your sleep, your relationships, or your dreams. You get to decide that it's time to put it down and pick up something better. Your future self is waiting for you on the other side of this work. The version of you who sleeps peacefully at night, who trusts again, who loves freely, who builds amazing relationships and creates beautiful things because you're not spending all your energy fighting old battles. That person is already inside you. They're just waiting for you to release the resentment that's keeping them trapped. They're waiting for you to choose radical forgiveness, not because anyone deserves it, but because you deserve the freedom it brings. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear about your journey in the comments below. What's one small step you could take today toward releasing resentment that's been holding you back? Sometimes sharing your intention with others helps make it real. And if you know someone who's struggling with letting go of anger or overcoming betrayal, please share this video with them. The path to emotional freedom is so much easier when you don't walk it alone. Sometimes the most powerful gift you can give someone is showing them that healing is possible. I've got more videos coming up about building resilience after betrayal, creating healthy boundaries without building walls around your heart, and turning your pain into your purpose. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss them, because this work we're doing together, this journey toward emotional freedom, it's just getting started. Your healing matters. Your peace matters. Your happiness matters. And you have everything inside you right now to create the life you deserve, starting with letting go of what's keeping you stuck in the past. The future you've been dreaming of is waiting for you on the other side of forgiveness.